Top of the morning to you, lads, as I greet you with my morning cup of joe, and I'm realizing that my cup is kind of dirty. That's gross. But we're going to talk about this guy's companion bot, and this is the Lucky Cat Megazord. If you're not familiar with him, there are tons of videos out there on the internet that will allow you to get familiar, but this is a very, very nice bot. And in today's video, like I said, we're going to talk about his companion homie, and that's going to be the Dragon King, aka the Dragonzord, also from the same company. Beautiful artwork, by the way. Some type of like watercolor theme or motif. That's really cool. That's really cool. I would hang that at my place. And this over here is the actual toy, and let's unbox him right now. All right, here he is out of the box, and ultimately I'm going to show you how he looks converted into the Dragonzord and also into his kind of like a shawl mode. You know what I'm talking about? The thing that sits over the Megazord. I'm going to show you both of those things. But let's start by looking at him, man. Dude, this is really nicely done. It's very similar to the other one in that, like, there are chunks of metal speckled throughout, and so it has a good sense of weight, as nice heft to him. The chrome is done absolutely beautifully. I mean, you can see the reflection over here. Same thing over here as well. I'm not some type of chrome expert, but it looks like some type of chrome paint or something that's been painted over the native plastic, but nah, it's all nice. Got nice little emblems about him. The green and the gold on that silver is all done extremely well. Very, very classy. And some areas over here, like this, it does appear a little bit simplified, a little bit flat without too much detail, but I think that's how it is. And there are some areas where they ask you to use a spudger, which is included over here. And so I may as well show you the accessories. We have the spudger, we have the finger missiles, this thing that looks like an old-timey kind of like photography booth, like photo booth, which has some weird like witch's feet on the bottom. And of course, the iconic tail that I will just remove right now. And some of the tolerances, the fitting and stuff is kind of tight. And so you'll just have to bear with me as I kind of gingerly install some of these pieces. For the first part, though, just to turn him into his dragon mode, you got to bring these parts out and you have to flip this up. There's a little pin over here, so you can tell that this is meant to kind of flip open, but it's hard to get a nail in there, a footing. And so this is where they encourage you to use the spudger. And I'm happy that they included that because it makes my life a lot easier. And then so you just do that. I mean, I've taken it out before without it, but it's just easier if you do it with it. And so kudos to them for knowing their quote-unquote shortcomings and addressing that before it hit the public. And so there you go, dude. And he's like, dude. I've always contended that that the Dragonzord looks more like Mechagodzilla than Mechagodzilla does to some extent. And right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to open this up because got to fish this out in order to attach the tail. Can I get this out? Because this bit, obviously, sorry about that cutaway. I knocked the camera down. But yeah, this is difficult to get out. But once you fish it out, you're good. And then you can return this back to where it was. And then you can get this and just install that like so. Neat, neat. And what's even cool is that the tail actually has a bit of bend. That's cool, man. I can respect that, dude. Just enough to make it feel animated. And so, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And so here we have him, Dragonzord, Mechagodzilla. And dude, he's still the stiff griff that we've always known him as, you know what I mean? With the haya, pya, the karate chop. And let's see what he looks like with the missiles. And you just basically slip them onto the fingers. Yep. They fit nicely. Maybe it's supposed to go the other way. Yeah, it's supposed to go the other way. Yeah, man. That's cool, man. He got the finger bloosh. Oh, wow. No, you know what? They're like very specifically designed to fit one way, actually. I didn't know that. Cool. So yeah, finger bloosh. Pya, pya. He also looks like he's doing some type of like marionette, right? Like animating puppets and stuff. But that's pretty cool, man. I can respect that, dude. Macross used to do that too back in the day. They used to have like the little tails on top of the missiles to showcase it like it's animated, like it's flying off. And so that's cool. I can respect that. Also kind of looks like dreadlocks, right? He got that Predator look if he got this on here. But now that we've seen that, we want to see how he's going to convert into the Dragonzord and also the shawl, right? And I gotta say, it doesn't have a ton of mobility, but man, it just harkens back to the cartoon, because the cartoon, like not cartoon, excuse me, the series, Because in the series, it was just a guy in a suit, you know what I mean? And so it feels just like that. It's kind of like clumsy like that, but like in the best way possible. In the best way possible. So to convert him into the Dragonzord mode, we're going to start by removing some of these bits. Allow you to pull this out as well. That's going to allow you to close this up. And love the deco and the details on the inside, dude. I love when people take pride in that. And like, it'll be areas that you're not going to see necessarily, but they'll put their work into it. Like Blockies does that a lot. I love that. I love that. And so this part for the head, you know, he got that, I don't know, certain type of head. This is a locking mechanism. So you tilt this back and that will allow you to bring the face down. Yeah, you can see right there, right? And then you can close that back up again. That looks good. And then for the knee over here, you're going to open this part up. And then this is going to fold up. That's going to sit like that. And oh man, like seeing this, the crest of the knee, right? So nostalgic. So very nostalgic. Goodness gracious. Like I just want to sing the song, you know, the Power Rangers song. Like, yeah, go Power Rangers. For my brother's sake. My brother loved that stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach rumbling, but I haven't had breakfast yet, and so forgive me if you hear the bear growls. Okay. So what's going to happen over here, this kind of stand, I don't know if this is how the previous toys worked, but in this iteration, you combine all of these things. And there's a post in here that you got to fish out. The connection's not tight, it's just that it's recessed in there. So use that spudger that they gave you to get it out. Then after that, you can attach this. This is tight, so just be mindful. Cool, huh? So when he's standing later, that's going to be mounted like that. So I think that's pretty dope. But at this point, let's start preparing the Megazord. So here we have him, right? Yeah, here we have him. And so we're going to remove the Mastodon from the shoulders. And then you'll see that there are corresponding ports and posts, and you slot that in there. As I'm doing this, I got to tell you, man, this experience with the Lucky Cat products, with our Megazord stuff, dude, it's been great. I really like it. They're a great size to mess with, and I'm just having some difficulty because I can't see where the ports are. So just forgive me as I kind of fiddle and fumble around. But yeah, the Lucky Cat Megazord stuff has been a lot of fun, man. The scale is great. And also for this one, if you're not familiar, I don't have it in front of me, but the pterodactyl actually becomes the wings. It doesn't just disappear into the chest. It has these kind of flame toys Megazord vibe, but the wings are like huge and stuff. And that's a really cool look. So I love the fact that they took some liberties and stylized this to some extent. And over here, we can just remove these. Hey, you know what? I wonder if these are 5mm. Huh. I never bothered to check. Hold on for a second. Got Megatron over here. Oh no, it's too loose. But I wonder if that's compatible with Blockies. Interesting. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out on my own later. And then from here, we can just add. Oh, excuse me. What am I doing? From here, we can, sorry, morning brain. And just insert that in there. Nice. Oh, that's such a cool vibe. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's mad sick, dude. That's super tight. And then you can just pose them up. Boom. That's super sick, bro. That has a vibe about it, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Like, I think so, dude. That's mad sick. Here, let's give him a close-up. Oops. Yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. What a vibe, dude. What a feel. Nostalgia, like all of that. This back part's kind of like conspicuously empty, but I think it's supposed to be like that. Or, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Is it supposed to go in to fold up like that? I'm sure I can do something with it to hide that gaping thing. But considering he has this part over here, the pterodactyl wings should plug in. Hold up for a second. I'm gonna go grab it. Give me a sec. All right. That's rad. That's rad, dude. That's so good. I think Pterodactyl should always been like that. And so he got like a tail and stuff going on too. That's so sick. That's mad sick. So yeah, man, here's the Dragonzord. Dude, feels like Dragonzord, smells like Dragonzord, tastes like Dragonzord. And articulation is limited, but man, dude, it just reminds me of the dudes in the suits. You know what I mean? All right, man. She don't want to stick around, so I'll just take her off. But it reminds me of the dudes in the big suits that used to walk around and stuff. And like I said, it's like intentionally clumsy. And it's a bit endearing, to be completely honest. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. But okay, next steps. Let me show you how to turn him into the shawl that sits atop this Megazord. And let me do some prep work, and I'll be right back, okay? All right, so the prep work is done, and what I did is basically I reassembled the Megazord, and I pulled his ears back because the shawl needs to kind of sit on top of that, and so that's the prep work done for him. As far as this guy goes, we kind of have to return him to his native state to some degree, but some of the stuff we're going to leave as is. Like, for instance, this we're going to leave as is. The face we're going to return back, and you're going to see some interesting things. There's a lot of like parts forming elements to this. And so let me pop this open. I'll use a spudger. But yeah, man, I hope you guys are doing well. And I always thank you for being here and watching, especially if you're still watching. You guys are the real ones, so appreciate you all so much. So this, you can just open up and you can remove this. This is not going to do nothing. It's going to have a function you'll see in just a moment. And so from here, we're just kind of lifting this up. You're compressing this back down. And you guys know what I'm talking about, the shawl mode, right? Like this is the head crest, the headpiece. So for this, it has to hang down. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift this on the hinge. That little hinge right there, you're going to press up, which will allow you to hinge that down. And pretty much that's it for the shawl, y'all. But last couple bits that we need to convert is this. We'll remove this. And the witch's coat stand is not going to have any function here, but the other stuff is. And so we're going to remove that. I think, oh, you know what? I do need to have that piece extended. I believe so. And I think it's just that. And the reason why this is extended is, oh, no, it is not extended. And I think I did this upside down. Maybe I had it the first time. All right, I guess it's upside down. Okay. What that's going to do is it's going to plug in like that. I think it's supposed to be some type of sword and shield gimmick. And this is a tight fit. So I'm going to try not to put it all the way. But that's going to sit over there. And then this, and I will say this is probably my biggest letdown, is I haven't found a good way for this to actually tab on and latch on to this. The only area where it seems to actually make some type of like click is, you see this? You see these two little grooves? That's going to sit over the rear part of the Megazord head. And that seems to be the only thing that holds it in place. And I kind of don't like that. Yeah, sure, it does the thing. It has the look, and it does everything that it's supposed to do. However, I don't know. I think it's just precarious that it's just resting on the head. But whatever, dude. Minor gripe, all things considered. And let's see if we can arm him up with all the things. Get in there, buddy. There. Whoa. That's like the nacho with like all the stuff on top of it, right? The next thing is Titanus. Titanus just needs to sit there. You know, the one thing I didn't see in the manual is the Lucky Cat stuff is known for being able to convert into a cube, right? Or is that somebody else? But I thought the Lucky Cat stuff all turned into squares, that they're a part of like the Beast Box, that type of stuff. And if that's the case, I don't know if Dragonzord converts into a box. I don't know if he does. But anyway, that's the final look over there. Yeah, okay, I gotta adjust all of this stuff. Sorry, I'm like simultaneously trying to think of like, how do I get the thumbnail? But this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. It's fun. It's easy to handle. Pairs and squares up very nicely with their existing Megazord line. Yeah, just perfect pairing. A lot of fun. And like I said, it's pretty intuitive for what it's worth. Could it be improved? Moderately. I think overall, dude, it's a home run. And I would highly endorse this if you're into MMPR and if you're into like desk size toys and stuff. Yeah, highly guaranteed from me. I hope you have found the review informative and educational to some extent, and hopefully entertaining as well. And I will talk to you another time. Okay. Thanks for being here. Bye.